Since 1995, Pixar characters have shaped our imagination. But have you ever wondered what they'd look like as dinosaurs? Let's find out. Woody is a natural leader. Not the strongest or the flashiest, but the most loyal, strategic, and protective of the group. The cowboy could be a Utahraptor, the largest dromaeosaurid. Like Woody, it leads through experience and loyalty, not brute force. Buzz is brave, firm in his beliefs, and has an imposing presence. He truly believes he is a space guardian and acts with military nobility. Buzz might look intimidating and powerful, but deep down, he's noble and protective. A giant body with a gentle heart, the perfect match for a classic sauropod. Flick is small, underestimated, and clumsy, but brilliant. His mind is always one step ahead. He changes the fate of his colony not with strength, but with ideas. Small, fast, and seemingly harmless, Compsognathus proves that size doesn't define importance. Like Flick, it survives through intelligence, agility, and adaptability. Sully may look intimidating, but he's actually protective, empathetic, and deeply sensitive. His massive size hides an enormous heart. Carnotaurus looks terrifying, but it's not the most powerful predator in its ecosystem, just like James P. Sullivan in Monsters, Inc. Mike is small, hyperactive, and talkative, but surprisingly brave for his size, and without a doubt, the one who provides the brains behind the operation. Meet Psittacosaurus. With its beaked face, it almost looks like a cartoon dinosaur. Mike may be small, but he definitely stands out. Dory lives in the moment. She forgets, she gets lost, but she never gives up, always curious, optimistic, and moving forward. A marine reptile, not a dinosaur, roaming the oceans by instinct. The Plesiosaurus mirrors Dory's wandering and resilient spirit. Marlin is a protective father, pushed far out of his comfort zone, but determined to keep going no matter what to bring his son home. Ichthyosaurus gave live birth instead of laying eggs, a remarkable adaptation for a marine reptile and a fitting trait for Pixar's devoted father. Bob Parr is pure strength, a classic hero carrying the weight of family, responsibility, and the past that still defines him. One of the largest animals ever to walk the earth, Patagotitan is pure strength, dominance, and stability, just like Mr. Incredible. Helen is flexible, strategic, and the real pillar of the family, but she's also Elastigirl, the superhero who always keeps everything together. Diplodocus had an incredibly flexible neck that could reach in almost any direction, and a long tail it could control with surprising precision, basically the ultimate Elastosaurus. Fast, competitive, and proud, McQueen learns that speed isn't everything. He grows from a lone racer into part of a community. Agile, fast, reactive, the Velociraptor wins by speed and reflexes. Like McQueen, it evolves when it stops running alone. Mater is rustic, resilient, and incredibly loyal. He might be a little clumsy, but he's stronger than he looks and always ready to jump into action. Ankylosaurus looks slow and a bit clumsy, but it's basically indestructible, just like Mater, simple on the outside with a heart of steel. Remy is curious, a perfectionist. He lives to create, even when the world keeps telling him again and again that he shouldn't. Small, herbivorous, and extremely agile, Hypsilophodon symbolizes intelligence, sensitivity, and survival in a hostile world. The little robot Wall-E doesn't say much, but he feels deeply. His journey is one of hope, memory, and quiet perseverance. This dinosaur's most distinctive feature is its domed skull, a design that makes it perfect for compacting trash, just like Wall-E. Eve is elegant, advanced, and incredibly precise, a sophisticated probe designed for one mission and lethal when necessary. The Pteranodon is always gliding, always moving with purpose, sleek, efficient, almost like the flying drone Eve from Wall-E. Carl is stubborn and protective, deeply loyal at heart. He may seem old-fashioned, but he's full of love and memories. Defensive, powerful, and deeply family-oriented, Triceratops represents stability, protection, and strong bonds within its herd. Russell is an enthusiastic young Boy Scout, curious, energetic, a bit loud, and full of excitement, especially when it comes to animals. The Parasaurolophus crest functioned like a natural trombone, creating deep, resonating calls similar to the blast of a very loud Boy Scout bugle. Merida is an independent, rebellious, and fiercely free-spirited princess who always charges straight ahead and refuses to be held back. Therizinosaurus is a unique, formidable dinosaur, just like Merida. Long claws, wild hair, same energy. Joy is pure energy. She's the optimistic leader inside Riley's mind, always trying to keep things positive and make sure Riley stays happy. Gallimimus represents constant movement, speed, and a sense of emotional lightness, as if this dinosaur was always meant to run freely across the ancient plains. Anger is impulsive and explosive. He reacts instantly to anything unfair, but behind the outbursts, he's loyal and protective of Riley. Ceratosaurus reflects a strong temper and an intimidating presence. Powerful and unpredictable, it carries itself with a constant sense of threat. Sadness moves slowly and always takes time to reflect, but somehow she still manages to get everything done when it really matters. Stegosaurus isn't the kind of dinosaur that goes looking for a fight, but when danger gets too close, it knows exactly how to defend itself. Fear is small and always on edge. A little too nervous maybe, but constantly ready for anything that could go wrong at any moment. Protoceratops is always watchful, quietly scanning his surroundings and keeping an eye out for any sign of danger lurking nearby. Disgust is picky and brutally honest. She spots every little flaw instantly. Small emotion, sure, but easily the sassiest one in the room. Oviraptor stands for discernment and sophistication. It's careful, observant, and knows exactly what's worth attention and what definitely isn't. Miguel bridges the past and the present. His story explores memory, identity, and the deep bond with those who came before him. Iguanodon is a symbol, one of the first fossils ever found, proof that the past never disappears, it only waits to be heard. Ian starts off as a shy and insecure teenager, but through the adventure he finds his courage and begins his path to becoming a powerful wizard. Dracorex was a small pachycephalosaur with a face straight out of a fantasy world, a dinosaur that looked so much like a dragon, it almost feels magical. Joe is an artistic soul with a deep, resonant voice. A passionate blues musician and a gifted pianist, he pours emotion into every note he plays. Lambeosaurus has even starred in acoustic experiments. In a way, it almost has its own band. Don't believe it? Just check the resonance simulations. Luca is a curious boy who can turn into a sea creature. He walks on land, swims underwater, and moves between both worlds like a true amphibian. Meet Diplocalus, an ancient amphibian with a boomerang-shaped head, basically a prehistoric newt. And just like Luca, it lived between the water and the land. May is an emotional teenage girl struggling with growing up, and her transformation into a red panda perfectly symbolizes that chaos. A giant prehistoric reptile from China, the perfect symbol for red panda, an ancient creature that embodies evolution and transformation. Elio is just a normal kid, until one day aliens mistakenly believe he's the official ambassador representing all of planet Earth. In 1985, a fragment of a Maiasaura bone became the first dinosaur fossil ever sent to space, flying aboard NASA's Space Lab 2, Earth's very first dinosaur ambassador. Mabel is an inventive and endlessly curious girl whose brilliant mind now lives inside the unlikely body of a robotic beaver. With its big front teeth, the ones that gave it its name, Incisivosaurus was basically the dinosaur world's version of a beaver. And of course, there's The Good Dinosaur, a film that imagines an alternate world where dinosaurs never went extinct and evolved alongside mammals. Roarers? Which Pixar character as a dinosaur was your favorite?